All right. Welcome to another edition of Maximum Life, where I believe it is God's desire for you to have life and that more abundantly. So, to that end, we are providing all kinds of information, insight, and intel to help you scale your life, scale your business, live the abundant life. So, I'm going to share with you today. Today marks a our event we're doing today called your 3-day digital challenge, digital CEO challenge. Today is going to be an incredible day. Now, I'm using this broadcast primarily as a promotional because it begins tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you still have time to register. You must register to be a part of this webinar tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to michaelnorman.net and register. If you're a business owner or you desire to own a business, or you want to scale your business, or you want to understand digital marketing. Digital marketing is at a, it's a trillion-dollar plus industry. And if you could capture just a 0.5% of $1 trillion market, multiple $1 trillion market, you can be successful. And so there's some things that you must adhere to, those things that you got to be aware of, because again, wealth doesn't come by happenstance. And if you're just curious and not serious, you're not going to be able to inherit this sort of wealth that I believe God wants all of us to have. But again, many are called, few are chosen. That means many have the opportunity, but only a few literally takes the opportunity and maximize that moment and maximize that opportunity. So I have some notes here I want to share with you that perhaps we're going to deal with, well, we will deal with it more tonight. So again, if you want to register for the full 3-day challenge, go to michaelnorman.net. Make sure you register for it, okay? So one of the things that most people do not appreciate, and I did this for a number of years when it comes to marketing and bringing a product to bear in terms of bringing a product to the marketplace. Most people bring to the marketplace the thing that they are passionate about. We've been taught that for a long time. I mean, I've been taught that. I've been taught, find your passion and you will find your purpose, that sort of thing. And while it is true that there is a certain degree of passion associated with your purpose, but when it comes to the marketplace, when it comes to the digital domain, when it comes to getting that product into the consumer's hand, it's not about what you are passionate about, because most consumers are not concerned about your passion. They don't really care. All they care about is if what you are selling or providing or offering, if what you're offering meets a need, if it answers a need, if it answers a problem, then you're more than likely going to be succeed. Matter of fact, you are going to be successful, because if you find enough people that need what you're providing, then success is going to be baked into it. Okay, money won't be an issue. It won't be an issue for you, because again, where there's already a demand, there is no sales necessary. That's why I don't consider myself a salesperson. I'm not into sales in the traditional sense of the word. I'm into finding what the people need and then providing the answers to that need. And one of the things that I've discovered in all of the webinars, online courses that I've done, most people are concerned about generational wealth. What's going to happen generationally where it concerns their finances? Getting into a place where they can develop revenue and funds that not only that they have an opportunity to utilize, but that can be passed down to the next generation. And that's very important, of course, this generational wealth. This is how you begin to break cycles in your family line, in your lineage, to where you can begin to control inventory, control revenue, and really make some positive changes in life. One of my greatest goals is to be able to walk into, much like I saw one of my mentors do, walked into a graduating class at a college and said to them, "Today you graduate debt free." What did he mean by that? He meant that, guess what? I have taken care of all of your student debt. You have no student debts, no student loans to pay back, no credits that you have to give back. You owe nothing. You are graduating debt free. Now, that's an amazing vision. That's to be able to walk into, and that's thousands upon thousands of dollars of debt that is being cured because he rose to a level of financial independence that he can go out and do that sort of thing. Well, is he unique? Is he the only one that can do that sort of thing? No, we can all do that. But we have to be smart. We have to be strategic. We cannot be haphazard. And one of the main ingredients is that you have to be determined and dedicated and disciplined. DDD. Determined, dedicated, and disciplined. You must do those things because, again, if you're simply curious and not serious, you're not going to get into this wealth space, this wealth community where you can begin to affect lives outside of your household. And that's ultimately what God wants all of us to do, because the good book says that it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. The blessing is in the giving. And trust me when I tell you, when you can make a difference in the life of someone that is going to impact their lives for the rest of their lives, there is no better feeling. There is no greater sense of accomplishment than to know. And it has nothing to do with what you received from them, but what you gave to them, what you've given to them, the opportunity to succeed in life, to give them a hand up. Most people, that's all they need. They don't need a handout. They just need a hand up to be able to succeed. And so again, that's why I'm doing this 3-day digital CEO challenge starting tonight. I want you to be a part of it because it's going to revolutionize your mindset. It's going to get you in the proper mind space so that you can think like millionaires. And if you can think like millionaires, then you can act like millionaires. And if you can act like millionaires, then millions will begin to be attracted to you. It's no strange phenomenon. It's not magic. You have to develop the mentality that I am wealth. Wealth and riches are in my house. Money, I don't work for money. And I retired a long time ago from working for money. I stopped working for money a long time ago. And here's the thing I discovered as well, because it's a myth that we perpetuated for generations, that if you want to get ahead in life, you got to work harder, harder. But what I've discovered is the harder you work, the tireder you get. You don't necessarily get ahead by working hard, because there are multiplied millions of people who work hard every day, but they just cannot get ahead. Have you ever heard it said, every time I spend a nickel, I got to spend a dime? Every time I'm trying to get ahead, I find myself going backwards. And this is not a strange thing, because working harder is not the answer. Trading time for money is not going to bring you into financial independence. What's going to bring you into financial independence is learning how to bring something to the community or the global community that is going to give them some sort of benefit. Make some sort of offer that is going to impact their lives in a positive sort of way. And that's why I said earlier, I'm about finding whatever the problem may be. Steve Jobs, what's his name? Microsoft CEO, and Apple. Steve Jobs was the Apple founder. Bill Gates with Microsoft. Why were they successful? Why were they so successful? I mean, abundantly successful. Why? Because they answered a problem. They found a problem and developed the answer to the problem. And it just so happens it is a problem that permeated the entire world. Everywhere you go, there is a computer. I don't care if it's a restaurant, if it's a church, if it's a studio, wherever you go, you're going to find a computer. And because he's discovered an answer to the problem that makes work easier, faster, and more efficient, because he answered those three things, it literally changed his life. Both Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. Bill Gates becoming one of the richest men in the world. He and Jobs, one of the richest men in the world, because they developed something that answered a problem. So when you can develop something that meets a need, that's where your wealth. You don't ever have to chase money, chase problems, find problems. That's the beauty of it. Most people are they're disqualified because of the problem. They find a challenge in their life and then they give up. They try to avoid the problem rather than finding an answer to the problem. And in doing so, it literally will enrich you to a place where you'll never have a financial issue or a financial problem ever again in life. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing that you can go into the restaurant and you don't have to read the menu from right to left because you're checking out the prices first? Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing? You just pick up the menu and say, I want this. And it doesn't matter what it costs, because you found the key to financial independence. You found the key to wealth. Just hoping and praying is not the answer. Trust me, I've already tried it. So hoping that something just happens is not the answer. You're going to have to find something that people are actually looking for. And that's why you have to be careful where it concerns what you're passionate about, because just because you're passionate about it does not mean everyone else is passionate about it. Okay, so once you find a problem that a lot of people are having, I mean, if millions of people have the same challenge in their lives, and you come up, develop a product, say at $10 a pop, and millions, well, let's just say a million people have the same challenge, but you develop a product that meets that need, that answers that problem. It only costs $10 a piece at a million people each. You just became a 10 millionaire, a 10 billionaire, a 10 millionaire. Okay, you just that easy, because you developed an answer to a huge problem. Or you might find a smaller market that has a challenge in it, but you can offer it at a higher price. That's why you want to answer problems that ultimately you want to answer the problems that rich people have. Because I tell you this, when you can answer the problem that they have, they're willing to pay whatever the amount is, and they won't haggle with you about it. That's the beauty of it. People with money, they don't spend a lot of time haggling. Why? Because they purchase based on value. When it's value, when it presents value to them, they don't care what it costs, because they know it's going to bring some sort of wealth and value to themselves. Some time ago, I spent about $2,000 for a course. Now that's unheard of, right? Unless you're going to college. But for a single course, $2,000 I paid for that course. Why? Because the course offered something of value to me, to the extent that I said, I'll pay it. And it'll happen over and over and over again when you present value. Find out what is of value to the consumer, make an offer based on those values, and money will follow you. It's not rocket science. But if you're just trying to force them to buy something that you're trying to sell that they don't even want, that's when you're going to be beating your head against a brick wall. And you're going to get frustrated, you're going to get discouraged, and you're going to give up. And you're going to think riches and wealth is for other people. It's not for me. But I'm giving you game right here and right now that is literally has the potential to change everything for you. Because again, find out where the problem is. Wherever the problem is, that's where the blessing is. Wherever the challenge is, that's where your financial resource is. All right. So and then whatever that problem, you find out who has that problem and where do they reside, and then you reach them. So tonight I'm going to be talking about funnel system, and funnels system or funnels is a method whereby you kind of start reaching out to the masses, but you want to reach out to those who want what you are offering. All right. I don't like to use the word sales because it's just got a negative connotation. But if I'm offering you water and you're in a thirsty place, you're in a dry desert place, and I show up with crystal clear, cool water, I do not have to sell it to you. If you're in a thirsty place, if you're in a dry and parched place, and I show up with some water, you will pay whatever is necessary for that water. That's just how it goes. So I paid this $2,000 for the course because of the value that it brought to me. But do you not realize what I learned from that course literally brought to me nearly $15,000? I'm telling you, I wasn't even good at it. I mean, it was my first offer. It's the first course that I've ever done online. I've done a lot of online courses since the pandemic, but the first one I ever done, I was so nervous. But I knew what I had learned was something that a lot of people need to hear about. More people need to know about. You know, have you ever been in a position where you find out about something and you feel like, man, I wish I had known this when I was younger? And that's kind of how I was feeling. I was like, man, how many people need to know this? How many people wish they could know this sort of thing, but they're not in a space, in a place where they can hear it? Well, I'm going to bring it to them. That's what I did. So a $2,000 investment in something that was of value to me yielded back to me $15,000. That's a what? $13,000 profit. I'll take it every time, all day. I mean, but the challenge is, again, find out where the problem is. I saw a problem. I saw a challenge, and I answered that challenge. I could have reached more people if I'd known about the funnel system that we're going to be teaching for the next 3 nights, 3 days, 3 nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting tonight, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 3-day digital CEO challenge. You do not want to miss out on this. Go to michaelnorman.net and register, because I'm telling you, it's the game changer. Now, you can spend the rest of your life trading time for money, but guess what? Your time is a limited resource. You know, the idea is, if you want to make more money, you've got to spend more time. But that's going to just make you tired. And even if you gain more money, you're going to be so tired and worn out, you're not going to be able to utilize the money that you just earned. So now, through digital marketing and funnel system, we're showing you how to automate your offer so that it doesn't require that you spend more time going to work, instead of 40 hours, you got to put 80 hours in. No. When you automate and you learn the power of automation, life begins to change for you. I am telling you that everything changes. So again, join me tonight, 7:30 p.m. You got to register, michaelnorman.net. My 3-day digital CEO challenge tonight, starting tonight. My very, very, very special guest is one of my coaches. And she happens to be a lady, a female coach for me. She's powerful. She's insightful. She's knowledgeable where it concerns digital marketing. You have to find out what is the problem that you uniquely design and skilled to answer. And the biggest thing you have to overcome is fear. Fear of, what if I fail? Or I'm uncomfortable with that. I'm too shy. All of these excuses we give ourselves for not excelling, for not becoming more than we are right now. There is so much more to you than you are right now. And that's not an insult. You might be doing well. You may be $200,000, $300,000 a year, $300,000 a month. But there's still more, and not necessarily more money in terms of here's what I've learned about more money. The more money that you earn, it opens you up not only to more economic opportunities, but it opens you up to a new space, a new community of people who has such insight and knowledge that you would not have ever learned if you had not elevated yourself to that level. And now you can inquire, you can engage and learn at this new level that if you stayed at, minimum wage, you will never meet them. And because you've elevated, now that you're meeting new people, you're getting new information, you're getting new ideas, new concept, new challenges, new wisdom. Because once again, whenever your business grows, everything grows with it. That means you get more money, but you get more challenges as well. So you need wisdom from those who are already been where you're going, who's already done what you were about to do, so that they can give you the wisdom and the insight that you need to do it more efficiently and with more success. But again, you're not going to meet them until you elevate. So don't be afraid of elevating. Don't be afraid of growing. Don't be afraid of expanding and scaling yourself because you say, well, it's just going to be more problems. No, you're going to get answers at that level that you don't currently have, and you cannot get at the level that you are now. That's why you have to level up. That's why you have to get around people who are doing things and going places that you want to do and go. And the more you do that, you're going to engage people with the insight and the knowledge and the wisdom that you need for your next level. I promise you that. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, there's some truism to that. When you elevate, there's always somebody there waiting to coach you, take you by the hand and say, hey, listen, let me help you go to the next level. There's insight, there's information that you're going to need so that you not only maintain the next level that you ascend to, but to prepare you to go to the next level. If you've ever read the Bible, you've saw the parable of the master who gave his talents to 3 servants. Now, I'm not preaching this, but I want you to get the powerful principle in it. Because one had 1 talent, the second one had 2, the other had 3. The one who had 3 doubled, the one who had 2 doubled, but the one who had 1 hid that 1. And that was horrible, right? Because he was afraid of losing the 1 that he had. So when the master shows up, he gets angry at the one who had the 1 talent, who hid it and did not grow or expand or scale it. So he called him wicked and slothful. And he took what he had and gave it not to the one who had 2, but to the one who had 3. And that's how success operates. Because again, the higher you go up, the greater the opportunity for you to grow. I mean, I can't tell you any simpler than that. You need to read the right books, be in the right environment, with the right people, hearing the right information. Because the more you hear, faith comes by hearing. You can never believe for success and greatness and abundance if you don't hear about it. If you didn't know it was available for you, you could never develop faith for it to receive it. So now the challenge is, before you can put it in your hands, before that wealth can come into your hands, it's got to come into your head. That is why I always say, that your mindset will affect your assets and your mentality will affect your reality. It's proven to be a fact. It's a principle. It's a law, like the law of gravity. And it'll never change. I can leave here and go to the other side of the country. And guess what? The law of gravity will work there the same way it did here. So these are laws and principles. If you learn them, practice them, and develop them, you are going to get it. It's guaranteed. You are going to walk right into wealth. You're going to walk right into riches. You're going to walk right into abundance. It's available for you. The question is, how badly do you want it? At the end of the day, it becomes a question of how badly do you want it? If you want it more than you're concerned about what people think, you're going to be successful. If you want it more than the fears that might and apprehensions that might try to grip you, but you want it more than that, you're going to be successful. You're going to have wealth, but you need the tools. You need the insight. And again, that's why I want to invite you tonight to be a part of the 3-night challenge, 3-day challenge. I call it 3-day challenge. It's a digital CEO challenge where we're going to, when I say we, myself along with Julie Kenny, we're going to pour into you information that is literally going to revolutionize and level up your life. This sort of information that we're giving, I'm almost embarrassed to tell you, people are paying thousands. And when I say thousands, I'm not talking about 1 or 2,000. I'm talking about 10, 20, 30, 40,000, $50,000 for this sort of information. I'm giving it to you, literally giving it away. This is what determines, the haves from the have-not. Because the ones who are determined to be poor, you can't pay them to be rich. I mean, they would not spend $1 to gain $1,000. So I'm offering it a rate that is just absolutely insane. And so it's a small window of opportunity. You got 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Get this insight, get this information, and then act on it. Don't just be a spectator. You got to participate. You got to commit to doing the work. You got to do the work. Faith without works is dead being alone. We're going to feed your mind. We're going to inspire you. We're going to blow into you some enthusiasm that's going to bring you to a place where you can see, I can do that. I can be successful. I can become the next millionaire. And we're going to give you the tools and the techniques that's going to help walk you through that. So join us again tonight. I think the link should be in the header. Just click on the link, michaelnorman.net, and be prepared to change your life forever. Make sure when you do come in tonight, bring your pad, your pencils, and get ready to take notes. And please don't let them just become notes that sits idly on your iPad or on your notepad. Make sure that you take plenty of notes and then act on them. Don't waste your time just taking notes if it's just going to be some empty words on a notepad. We're going to give you an action plan so that you can step out and become all that God has purposed you to be. You have what it takes. You have what it takes to be great. You have what it takes to be successful. Everything that's necessary. I say it this way, that God would not put a demand where he's not made a deposit. And this demand would not come to you if there wasn't already a deposit in you. Most of you don't realize, you don't even know it's there until someone like me comes along and says, you can do it. It's possible. It's within your grasp. You have the power. You have the insight. You have the knowledge. You have the capability to become successful. And they literally just shake you until you realize, well, you know what? I think I can. Like the little engine. I think I can. I think I can. until you realize one day that you actually did. Okay, so that's why I wanted to take a moment to dedicate this whole broadcast today to our 3-day digital CEO challenge, because you just may be the next digital CEO, but we will never know till you take the appropriate action. You'll never know until you try. As they say, you'll never make the shot that you never take. Take the shot. Take a chance. Stop always, break out of that comfort zone that keeps you at mediocrity. Break out of that and explore the vast possibility. There's so much more to you if you would just allow yourself to expand and experience. You don't have to know any technical jargon. You don't have to be a computer scientist. You don't have to know coding. We're going to teach you some very, very basic principles. You don't have to go back to universities for 4 years to learn this. This you're going to learn in the next 3 days. And it's literally going to change your life. Okay? So again, join us tonight. Don't procrastinate. I said it before. Procrastination is more powerful than any weapon of mass destruction, because procrastination has killed more visions, has destroyed more aspirations than any weapon of mass destruction. So don't procrastinate. Make sure that you take action. Don't stand on the sideline. Take action. Do it, and plan to join us tonight. This is going to be so good. Myself, along with Julie Kinney, we're going to be there tonight. Julie Kinney is she's an incredible marketing guru. She's going to help you to understand that you already have what is necessary to be successful, to become a digital marketing expert, and that you're going to have a means to get your offer into the community and become successful. Because trust me, unless you're everyone, I'm going to say this and be done with it. Everyone that is experiencing wealth, unless I'm talking about real wealth, I'm talking about multiple millions, billions of dollars, it is because they have answered a problem. The greater majority, of course, if they were born into it, they didn't do anything to get it. But their ancestors did. They answered a problem. And they answered it at such a vast level. They found that so many people had the same challenge. And by virtue of the funnel, now we're going to teach about funnels. We're going to teach you about marketing. We're going to teach you about advertising. And you don't have to go and get a whole new a loan to get it done. We're going to show you how to do it. All right. But everybody that you know, everything that you know, every person that you know that's a millionaire or billionaire, they're answering some sort of problem. All you got to do is now start paying attention. Look around, observe what's going on around you. And when you see a problem, maybe I can develop an answer to that problem. It's just that easy, okay? So join me tonight, 7:30 p.m. Don't be late. Do not procrastinate. Be there tonight, 7:30 p.m. I usually do songs in the night. I'm usually on the piano because, I'm a musician, an award-winning jazz musician. I love to play and I love to perform, but I'm canceling my performance tonight because I want to get this information into your hands so that it will change your life for the rest of your life. So join us tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, for our 3-day Digital CEO Challenge tonight. Go to michaelnorman.net, michaelnorman.net, register. I'll look forward to seeing you then. All right? Blessings to you.